left this town with the speakers loud and the radio playing old Sublime that we stole online, every verse we know. And we hadn't had a clue if we'd make it by noon or even where we'd go. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. We don't need a map, everywhere. The tank said E and we all agree that we're just too broke to fill it back up, so we left your truck on the road with Rome. Then we found a motel with a cigarette smell, so we knew we're close. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. Is where I can find some peace of mind to make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road. 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 We played Tupac Sharak and we turn our music up when he raps about hope. We hold our thumbs high and hope someone is kind enough to give us all a ride. And we wouldn't have a clue if we'd make it back to or even where we'd go. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. A Ford stopped on the street, said where you trying to be. We said we don't really care, we'll know it when we're there. We took on down the road, he flipped on his radio. Santeria started slow, so we knew that we were close. Home is where I can find some peace of mind to make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road. 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 Home is where I can find some peace of mind to make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road.
All right, everyone, welcome back. I'm Winter, and it is March 16th of 2024. Thank you guys for being here so early on. Hopefully, we've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. Today, I'm playing StarCraft with commentary between the University of Michigan and the Michigan State University, and I lost track of that sentence pretty quick. We'll get better. In a grudge match of the StarCraft 2 clubs. No, it's not going to be a bunch of boring NA Grandmasters, but instead, something much more relatable, which is most of the ranks up to Grandmaster, relatively even matches. So instead of pointing out every time they lose an Overlord, it'll be more exciting when they don't. It's 18 p.m. in Europe and you are streaming. Wow, they have so many hours in Europe. Okay, so here in America, we have something called sports. All right, and we play those sports on the computer. We call them electronic sports, also known as digital sports. So hopefully you enjoy some of those today. All right, it's time to jump in. Let me make sure we're all ready to go. I assume some of the teams in the chats. We're going to be starting out with, if not, I don't know if they're the team captains, but certainly the organizers for each team. They're like, Winter, did you pick these teams randomly? Why here? Well, my wife graduated from the University of Michigan, where I also attended. Not as graduated. I was too busy playing StarCraft. I have family members who took the choice of going to that other that Michigan State. And here in America, we take our grudges very seriously. So that's why I'm happy to bring you a new one here today. And by new, I mean kind of tradition at this point. But let's get started. Match number 1. The team captains, the team organizers, and from my understanding, the only players that are actually sitting down at their computers, they're in person at Michigan State at the moment, I believe. At least most of the players. So, like, actually going outside and... So, not just playing online, no. A whole lot of extra effort put in. We probably should have made sure that they stuck to team colors that made any sense, which will make this introduction a little awkward considering he's in purple. But for the Michigan State Wolverines, the Terran player, I don't think he had a rank motor this season, so the captain, it's Double Delete. Looking to lead his team. Yeah, I didn't have the full follow-up for the intro, but we're here. But on the other side, for the Michigan State Spartans, as Protoss, it is Rayboy P. Wonder if he changes that last initial if he plays other races, or if it's entirely unrelated. Either way, it's not important. It's important that he leads his team to a victory in the first match. We'll have to see. A best of 3 PVT. Starting off, relatively tame. Neither player particularly aggressive, though probes are just naturally aggressive. That's just how they are. There is no way to... You never trust a probe, alright? That's all I'm trying to say at the end of the day. Now we've got the double pylon on the high ground into a Nexus. SCV following at a leisurely pace across the map to scout. Another pylon. Pylons are the powerhouse of the Protoss. Very important to maintain as many as possible. Meanwhile, the Reaper headed out as well. Warp Gate being chrono boosted. And will that first Reaper be a game ender? There's a Stalker's on the way. So, and the Reaper gets distracted. But he's busy stealing the gas. Oh my. Double Delete. A very Terran player to kick things off. Steals the gas and works into the main with the Reaper. He actually finishes the gas and he will mine from it. And gonna take that canister home. Gonna be prioritized. The SCV doesn't quite make it out, but that 4 gas could make all the difference. Emotionally, probably not physically. Gas prices aren't too bad right now. But that is at least mildly annoying. A mild to moderate inconvenience here for Rayboy to start. But Spartan's known for adapting. Stalker will eventually work its way through the refinery. What is Double Delete have back at home? 2 command centers, gonna slap a couple more racks down. That unbuildable bricks can be destroyed. Very important. Bunker, as he acknowledges that at some point a counterattack could happen across the map. More pylons. All right. Michigan State, somewhat stereotypically known as a farm school. That's just because it's surrounded by farms. But it looks like Rayboy here is farming power. Whereas University of Michigan, more of an engineering school, which makes it concerning that Double Delete doesn't have any engineering base. As he works his way into his bio army. Chrono boosting interference matrix as the first upgrade. Interesting. Certainly an original choice from Double Delete here. As a couple more tech labs coming up as well. We're working our way into what some might, if squinting from a far distance, would call the mid game. What rank are these people? These people are team captains. Vikings, which is a curious choice after going for the interference matrix. Stim, +1. So the upgrade's being filled in. Meanwhile, Twilight Council for Rayboy, who's managed to lock down his 3rd Nexus. The Zealot Scout will see the bunker that the Terrans so cowardly hide behind. The pylon not quite in range, but a very cinematic setup here, really. Ah, yes. The pylons guard the gates, of which he has a whopping 3. Double Forge. And meanwhile, the triple threat, well, kind of, coming through the Stim Combat Shield and +1 for Double Delete. So it's all coming together after the hectic and economically malignant early game. Double Delete stealing that gas right under the metaphorical noses of the probes. Ever since then, there's been an animosity between these two. The Reaper is back. Wait, is that the same? Yes, the Reaper lived. And it's back for more. Double Delete. Let's go to the Double Delete action camp. Jumps down to the natural. Looking for the probes. Targets another one. Gonna get kill number... Whoa, missed it! And back at home. Third command center landing. Rayboy already has 52 probes and counting. Something resembling a conventional bio army here out of Double Delete. Looking pretty solid. He's got that interference matrix Raven. A pretty conspicuous lack of medevac so far, but one step at a time. Looks like charge is completed for Rayboy. Plenty of zealots. Templar Archives, Blink, 1-1 on the way on the Double Forge. And some cannons to really solidify the defenses. Ghost Academy, Templar Archives, as we continue to explore how far we can get through the tech tree before they decide to acknowledge the presence of the other player. So far, most of the way. We're about 2/3 of the way there. More pylons. Archons merging. Those that can find another Templar. One, feeling so lonely, will just go sit by itself. Double Delete investing in those very first medevacs. Opening things up with quite a passive early mid-game. The barracks, I gotta say, quite a production setup here. Nice and symmetrical. Double Delete with about as much APM as me as Terran. So that's how you know he's amazing. Oh, but wait, the Protoss have arrived. Storm is not quite done. Stim. Will be used. Quick on those stims. Legalize stim packs. Ray Boy decides to back off wisely, waiting on his storm. A wall of gateways. And some cannons behind. Ray Boy, well, everything looks like a Zerg to him. Though I'm not convinced that gateway layout will be particularly helpful against the Terran Bio army. It's really the idea that counts, metaphorically. What really counts is who wins the game. But the ideas are also good. Meanwhile, Double Delete getting closer and closer to a standard maxed out army. Blinks away that double sensor tower coverage. Doing well so far, but the SCV pulled to repair. Ray Boy is looking pretty good himself. 11 gates. Robo Bay on the way. 2-2 coming up. Scan at the natural. Sees nothing. Says, you know what? There's probably nothing to worry about then. Oh, but Double Delete is coming in. There's a ghost leading the charge. EMP off the mark. And the storms are ready. More ghosts on the way. EMP off the mark. Feedback on the ghosts. Looking great. Where are the storms, though? He lays them down. The pressure is on. There's one more storm. The Terran army, unfortunately, still just so strong. The storms did not find the mark. As neither player quite able to manage everything perfectly there, but Double Delete, with just the sheer DPS of the bio ball, is able to power through. It's not over yet. He's got some cannons to contend with, but that is a strong Terran army. And with some siege tanks, well, the cannons will slow things down. And Double Delete will be pushed back for now. The sheer number of cannons is somewhat intimidating, and there aren't too many tanks to contest them. A nuclear missile and a fusion core on the way as Double Delete looks at what buttons he has yet to press. Zealot run by, though. Finds an opportunity. Gonna kill a couple more SCVs, but the Bio Army, well, not the most efficient Zealot run by. I will applaud Ray Boy's flexible strategy here. Up to 11 gates, going 13. Really, while Double Delete has clearly a rigid and well-planned, aka boring base, Ray Boy, on the other hand, is more of a free spirit. As you can see here, instead of the rigid and planned out lines that everyone's seen before, like in Double Delete's industrialized main, Ray Boy has just kind of an impressionist painting of gateways that he's leisurely strolled across the map, like finger painting, which, you know, seems like a very Protoss thing to do. both of these two were wondering whether we'd have enough time to get all the matches in. And I said, don't be concerned. It'll probably be fine. Little did I know that they themselves were the concern. And here we are. Because I believe there's a time limit on the, actual, PC room they're using. Here we are, though. 14 minutes. Double delete. Unable to capitalize on the advantages gained in that earlier fight. And that means Ray Boy has been able to rebuild. Double Armory. Wait, no. That's Armories 2 and 3 are now in production. Advanced Ballistics for the Liberators. 3 more command centers. But Ray Boy... And he's dodging the scan. No! Ray Boy, he's gonna see you. Alright, just flaunt it. Okay, let the boy watch. The Ray Boy, that is. Of course. Double delete, keeping solid track of the Protoss army. But Ray Boy now knows. The Liberators getting into position. The Venn diagram of freedom here. Oh no. Trying to dodge through. Doing a pretty good job of avoiding the Liberators. A Templar. Storm toward away. He's coming up the ramp. Another storm. A beautiful storm right on top of the Bio Army. But the Liberators are doing so much. The Colossi on the back line. Ray Boy, though, he has 3/3 upgrades. And Ray Boy stands at the pass. And the Spartans will power through. The Zealots charging forth. The Storms. He only had a couple, but this time they made all the difference. And double delete. Almost panicky scans and top-tier positioning pale in comparison to the brute strength of the Spartan army. And unfortunately, those Liberators not paying off. Ray Boy powering through. Colossi getting distracted, as they are wont to do. Not a single Colossus attacking the ground army, but that's okay, the Zealots are. And so far, it looks like... they're so... Double delete scrambling to hold it together. He's got the Colossi. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's get going. Yes, the natural predator of Colossi, refineries. Unfortunately, the Colossi, getting a bit off track may, in fact, perpetuate this game. As without their additional firepower in the fight. Oh, Ray Boy, oh, a very bold blink. He had an observer. He had an observer. Which means he saw that entire army. And he said, you know what? I'm going for it. Aim for the bushes, boys. Like, 4 Stalkers versus 3 Siege Tanks, 14 Marauders, and 20 Marines with Medivacs. It could go either way. And now here we are. As Ray Boy puts together his army yet again. Double delete scrambles from the disastrous last couple of minutes. The army supplies have drawn a lot closer. And Blunk's in again. The choke point. The Colossi, at least one of them is attacking an army. Unfortunately, the others were more interested in roasting the command centers. The Colossi really not on the ball right now. Those Colossi just need to focus up. So far, they've been the saving grace back at home, but the largest version of a toddler. If you could hit toddlers with air weapons, I could probably end that train of thought there. But here we are. Do we know what rank these players are? They're captains. I don't believe they've been promoted past that. And after this match, I'm not sure where they'll stand.
Dedication will be rewarded.
So Rayboy still with 13 gateways. Here comes Double Delete again. He's been able to refill. Rayboy throwing some immortals in. He's got 3-3. Well, there's 3-3 across the board, except for ship weapons and plating, as well as shields. But the basic... Oh, here we go. That's so many siege tanks and liberators involved. The Templar in the front. No storms. Oh no, the Colossi getting involved, but the choke point working against him. And game one. Goes to Double Delete. To kick things off. Well, certainly a dramatic opener there. But at the end of the day... Wait, need to put the replay stats... Not over my face. My face is the most important thing here. But then, okay. Father Deshaun the Ninth and Monsignor. When your hero unit is a siege tank that only got 8 kills. Double Delete says, gonna take a 1-minute breather for my heart rate. Now, I'll tell you, you might be like, well, these players, it doesn't matter. All right, I was Grandmaster for many moons and many moons ago. And I would play in like WCS qualifiers or something. And unprompted, like 2 rounds in against another mid-NA GM, you know what would happen? It'd be like, what if I did a 2-base Hydra in? What if I did a 2-base Hydra in this time? Would that be the strat? Is that a good idea? No, you've never done a 2-base Hydra in. Nobody does a 2-base Hydra in. But suddenly, in a relatively low stakes tournament setting, which doesn't mean anything because I'm never going to win it, guess what? We're going to do a 2-base Hydra. And that, like, it does something. We're going to Oceanborn. The match command should work in both chats. For those on YouTube, like and subscribe. For those on Twitch, subscribe and like. What rank are they? They are unranked. This is their second game ever. How do I like on Twitch? You just say poggers in the chat. Ah, I forgot to tell him to switch the colors again. Alright, the new official color of Michigan is I really like how the purple and green look. I don't like it as much as, like, I don't know. The problem is green and yellow or green and blue. They both don't work as well, in my opinion. But Double Delete in the bottom right. But the colors for Michigan, I don't even think you can set your, like, the player colors as white or gray. At least for the Observer tab. Oh, I could have put the skins on. These are best of 3s, yes. The overall score will be the count of the best of 3s. And at the end of the day, that will determine who wins. All the matches will be played, but it's a matter of scale. All right. I don't know if we can have a tie. If we end up only doing one 2v2, maybe, but I think we're going to count the 2v2 as 2 games. We'll see. If these two take 40 minutes to play this game, we may have to narrow it down to just a single 2v2, but I'm not sure. They have a time limit? Well, the average best of 3, so there are 5 best of 3s. And the average one should be less than 30 minutes. The matches you see on YouTube are hand-selected. I will tell you that most pro best of 3s are usually between 15 and like 25. Lower level games are usually longer, but not always. Especially if it's just 2 games. Like, this could still be a third match. So let's do the math. Let's do the math. So, we got 3 plus more. I believe they have till 5, so they have 3 more hours. They're 5 best of 3s. They're 30 minutes apiece. I'm not a mathematician. I didn't finish attending either of these schools. But, yeah. I'm just flashing back to calc. You know what that really taught me? You know what calculus really taught me? Is how to use the internet to answer all my homework. To which you might be like, that didn't teach you problem-solving skills. But it did, didn't it? Here we are. What was my point, though? It was, we should have plenty of time. I don't... All right. The Reaper. We'll see if either of them adapt their strategies from the last game. We calculate the human factor of needing a 1-minute break after every match. Yeah, we're doing it live. Also, we got to come up with the first 2 minutes. It's not something I'm used to. I like casting live, but it's also, there's a lot more filler. Not that the early game between these two is not the most engrossing thing. Okay. I even skip past the first 3 minutes of Clem versus Max Pax most of the time, so... to be fair. What am I trying to say? Should we have Empire Wars in SC2? Should we start with 2 bases? Or, like, 1 base with both gases taken and already, like, a gateway and a cyber core finished? Like... Might be interesting, but... I think it's an okay spot. A Widow Mine drop. I kind of still like the 3 workers start in AoE 2. Okay, Boomer. Except pro tournaments are like, we do not have 5 hours to watch workers build. And boars kill them. So we're playing Empire Wars. Are you going mech behind this? Uh-oh. Do you have a Widow Mine drop? You know, at some point, the best reaction to a Widow Mine drop is no reaction. Because then the probes don't stack up. So Rayboy with the best possible reaction there. No, he may not have realized the Widow Mine is gone, but I'm not 100%. Meanwhile, yeah, it's gonna be mech-ish for double delete. Which will... Okay, that... Blink is done. Oh, it comes back around. No, come back! Rayboy! What have you done? You've betrayed the probes! Rayboy, no! Oh no, he actually ran away. A classic mistake. And the mine gets a better hit. Because that's just how it works for some reason. So, Rayboy Just gonna take everything. He's gonna go for it. As he's taking critical economic damage. The siege tanks. 3 siege tanks is about too many. Looks like the Widow Mine Drop finally got dealt with. Let's see if he's stuck at the outside. I'm not optimistic as to the outcome of this Blink All-In.
New subscriber detected.
Thank you. He's gonna try to... Well, he needs high ground vision. And double delete should... Well, okay, here we go. I don't know, Kev. It's... Well, yeah, I can't... I gotta give him... If there's one thing that I will say, and this holds true in my experience, is those from Michigan State certainly have a lot of confidence. Misplaced, alcohol-inspired, or otherwise. But looks like this mech nerd over here had more than enough siege tanks to shut it down. And now, if you look at the supply, it's not great. It might get a little better if he literally flies over 4 or 5 more of those and we'll even things up. Don't do it. He saw that you saw the tanks. He saw the tanks with the observer before the observer got killed. Oh no. He's looking for opportunities. If you don't blink, you might miss it. All right. The Warp Prism will find the 4th base. Rayboy, his current tech includes Blink. Then again, Double Delete's tech includes nothing. He is working on 1-1, but he has otherwise no upgrades at all, which is quite a thing. Well, there goes the Prism. Almost snipes off that Viking. Blink stock, 27 stalkers against 15 siege tanks. Rayboy will now take his macro turn. Are there these schools in the Upper Peninsula? There's nothing in the Upper Peninsula except Moose and Michigan Tech. And we keep all the nerds up there. All right. You see, this is the map of Michigan, for those who don't know. And there's also the other part, but don't worry about it. See, the most convenient part. But these schools are here and here. Not... So don't worry about it. So a whole lot of stalkers until its charge isn't done. Double Delete has taken his sweet time, but has quite a mech army. The Zealot will spot it. If you're gonna go, it's gotta be now. Does he go? He just blocks in. The siege tanks are obliterating everything. And the Protoss army will evaporate in a beautiful display of superior firepower. And match number 1 will go to the University of Michigan Wolverines. The captains have battled, and we found our victor. It's now 10. Or maybe there should be like a hyphen or something. I can see how that would be misleading. I will say, I enjoyed Rayboy's more fluid Protoss style. Of course, easy come, easy go. Double Delete showing a mastery of 2 different styles of Terran. Next up, we have our... Okay. Now we have our higher level match. I don't know if it's the highest level match, but Diamond versus Masters. I don't know if it's high Diamond, low Masters, or anything like that, but... Fish versus Cat. And we also have Cow Goes Moo in the... What's happening here? Historically, cats are usually... Oh. No. Okay. No, that's... I think it was a... so that's going to be later, is Fish versus Cat. Next up is E-Maps, or... We will see. We also have Cow. We know what's going on. Well, we gotta figure out who's up next, who's ready to go. We do it live. So, I remember going to University of Michigan, getting there 30 minutes late for my first class and sleeping through the rest of it because I stayed up all night to watch GSL. Good times. Should be ready very soon to... We can let E-Maps play this one. All right. Gonna throw him right out into it. Do you know any good Zerg cheeses for beating a Masters Protoss? Roachalin. It's like, what flavor of Roachalin? Well, there's so many. I'm here for the Bronze Spirit. I don't think... I believe that was... If I'm gonna guess, Double Delete was Diamondish, and Ray Boy more platinum-y. I'm not here to judge, which is a lie, by the way, but as one of the top 2 ranked guessers in the galaxy, second only to the world champion. Though Ray Boy, with that kind of, like, I will say Ray Boy, if he actually played more, I think could easily be Diamond. You put some real builds in there. A little bit more, not a lot. Just a bit more of, you know, building units while fighting. And that kind, like, that's the kind of Protoss confidence that Terrans hate. Okay, that Diamond Terrans get so salty at is the Protoss just charging their way through up the ranks because they don't care enough to lose. Like, instead of stressing out over every action and reaction and planning ahead, you just kind of throw it down there. You hope for the best. All right, those Colossi, they want to attack the refinery. Well, that happens. All right, your cannons, wall off your own charge lots. Psh, build some more cannons. I gotta. But we can spy. No career finishes, so quite impressive. Never played a ladder game. Now we're playing on Wait a second, was this the last time we did a one of these matches? It might be. I believe, yeah. This may be from the last time we had Michigan versus Michigan State. So the quarterly match. He's a good scholar. I bet he is. I bet he has a good, like, school life balance. Nerd. You're never gonna get good enough at StarCraft to still lose to all the best players, but make it kind of close sometimes. Like the rest of... Probably just plays League instead. E-Maps log, yeah, he just like got in the building, they sit him down in the chair like, it's time. But I haven't played in 4 months. Well. Tips for SC2 motivation for beginners? I'm gonna steal a tip from Dark. When asked about having fun with StarCraft 2. Which is... don't play ladder. Please, don't play ladder. A direct quote. Now, if you're not going to follow through on that, double deletion, he's not the player here, so we'll see. But I think the most important thing, if you actually want to improve, is SC2 replay stats. So what you can do is, I'm just going to go to mine. You have to pick a metric that isn't winning or losing, because even on a good day, you should only win half the time. And not everyone always has a good day. And some days you will win a lot less than half the time. So instead of that, what SC2 replay stats can do is, well, there's a couple options. There's one, you can set your own goals. Like, I want to get... a good one is a certain amount of workers by a certain time. And even if you don't do the paid version, which is like $5 a month, and it goes to running the servers, you can do 2 training centers a day, which if you guys were playing 2 games a day, a lot of you would be a lot better. So, like, let's just say, playing against the AI here. Which is, so, the training center will compare you to people of similar level, or usually like 1 rank above. Like if you're gold, it'll compare you to platinum players. So what are you not doing? In this case, in this game against the AI that I was probably like doing some sort of screenshot stuff, didn't produce enough workers within the first few minutes. You can pick 1 or 2 of these stats. All right, that's it. And if you turn that from a red to a not red anymore, that's winning. That's what winning looks like. It's not your ladder points going up from some arbitrary number to another arbitrary number, because the ranks break half the time, and for every good day you have, you're going to have a bad one. But this is the best way to measure it, because even if it feels like you're not improving, winning is not necessarily improving. Getting past the finish line is not necessarily improving. It just means you're better than the other mediocre, incompetent person on the other side this time. But that is a fleeting thing. So, I think the easiest would be just pick workers produced. And it shouldn't say unranked. It should say for you like gold or platinum or whatever. And it'll probably be in the first 4 minutes, like 15. Something like that. So if you're able to get over that. And then idle workers average. That's another good one. Sure, some games you might have a crazy amount. Most games you won't, though. You can average that out. So pick a couple of those. It's free. You can do 2 of these training centers a day for free on SC2 replay stats. Let's be honest, if you're playing 2 games a day, you're already better than the vast majority of people. So... All right. This guy's been logging in for a long time. This is the live tournament experience. It's not unique here. I remember DreamHack Atlanta with the hurry up and wait. Like, I do prefer, in many cases, the replays. Not in this case. But this is how every live tournament is. For those who don't know, even the top tier, most professional ones, at DreamHack Atlanta, they're like, has anyone seen, like, Rainer or something? We need him to go on stage. Rainer's, like, off in a food court or something. Like, that's who we're throwing under the bus today. Like, where's Harstem? Is Harstem... It's hard to miss him. He's 6'7". Like, but somehow he's been lost. Alright, what skin should EMAPs have? We're gonna give them the Tirador. And then... This is just for us. They don't see it. This is for observing. I like the Golden Age, too. Oh, it's Protoss versus Protoss. Wait, whoa. Okay, so this... No. That means we have to use Ihanri versus Golden Age. Yeah. Alright. Because this one is a more like gold, yellowish, and the Ihanri is like the greenish skin. And no matter what color you are, like with Protoss, this has always been a complaint for me. Like Protoss buildings, when you see 10 cannons, it's even in top level PvP. If you have like 5 cannons coming up, but 3 for one side and 2 for another, you can't even tell whose are whose. They all look the same. When they're warping in, I'm saying. Like, it's essentially impossible without actually clicking on it. But, here we go. Match 2. Let's introduce. In the bottom right, for the Michigan State Spartans. The green, Protoss, Xenostar. And on the other side, currently up 1-0, the University of Michigan Wolverines. It's EMAPs. Which Michigan School you're a fan of? The only thing I'm a fan of is good games. Interesting layout to start for EMAPs, charting an interesting course. Zetostar goes for the expansion, or at least to wall off the expansion on the low ground. So, already a very creative start to this Protoss versus Protoss debacle. No, wait, those are two of Xenostar's probes. A Zealot on the way for EMAPs. A conspicuous probe. A robotics facility as well. I'm seeing quite an opportunity to get his own units walled off if he's not careful here. The oldest trick in the textbook. We'll see if he uses it, or if he even remembers that probe is there. Robo for both sides. So, nice. The thing is, the further down you go, the more passive PvP usually is, as the sharp edges are rounded out a bit. We'll see if that follows through. Alright, moment of truth. I think it'll be fine. Yeah. I think if he didn't rally it, it may have gotten stuck there. There's a... I'm not sure if there's a space. Not really important. What he doesn't know can potentially hurt him. Twilight Forge Robo. Just missing the Stargate here. Meanwhile, Twilight and Robo as well. Besides the initial poke with the probes, looks like the next scout will be observers for both sides. Very scary to go... Alright. Are they gonna do the observer high five? They will see one another. What a... Wow. Exactly the same time. Huh. Great minds think alike, but less great minds think even more aliker, as the saying goes.
Your forces are under attack.
Oh, but a second observer. And able to counter at EMAPs. Knowledge is power. As are pylons. And right now he has both. So looking good for him. The probe is technically in vision for Zetostar. Of course, that would mean he would have to have vision of the mini-map, which is a much more difficult task. So, I said we should have plenty of time, but it appears everyone... Quite a macro player here. The probe? Let's go to the Zetostar action cam. There's still a probe. Wait, did he... Okay. The probe's still... The suspense!
I am here in the shadows.
Upgrade complete.
I can't handle it. Apparently he can. It... Well, we're still building up. Comfortably going up about the build. But when the moment is right, you see their vision. I do appreciate the hallucinated Phoenix here from Emaps, who not only has a probe in the base, but also an observer as well. But just doing his due diligence there. The observer. Okay, everybody sees each other. So, you know, I don't think he's gonna see the pro. Oh, looks like a stalker got pushed into seeing the observer. Oh, it tries to micro away, but no. It's gone. The probe, though, remains. You stand very, very still. Both players clearly taking inspiration from one another. Another observer heading out. All right, start to make your predictions. When do we fight? I'm gonna say 9.5 minutes. That is when both players will have some of their tech. It'll feel like a pretty big army. And whether intentionally or not, 9.5 minutes. Will the... Oh. The saga continues. The observers continue coming out on both sides. Wait, whose observers? The Emaps has another ops. It's still there! The build-up continues. As neither player has sent anything but probes and observers and hallucinated units past their base. The fear of confrontation is quite strong. The probe remains. What's going to happen is both players are going to realize it at the exact same time. All right. They're going to see it. But not this moment. It appears my 9.5 minutes prediction may have been off. If only slightly. He's getting out. Well... Alright. I didn't ask for these powers. They were hard-earned through decades of experience. Well, if he didn't get distracted by the rocks, he'd be heading across... Wow. Am I a genius? Or was I born this way? No. Once again, hard-earned experience. I'm sorry. The real winner here is me. As technically, still no units lost. But I think within the margin of error here, as 9 minutes and 40 seconds, the probe remains. Does Emaps have enough back at home? Is there a shield battery overcharge? Half the units attacking into the mineral line. The shield battery's helping out. Guardian shield used for Emaps. There's the battery overcharge. Battery will be taken down. And the Archon's taking a lot of damage on both sides. And this fight is looking pretty even, but another wave of charge lots coming in, and +2 done for Xenostar, who's powering through and may have the numbers. And Xenostar, the aggression pays off. The probe remains, but Emaps may not. GG! Xenostar puts a point on the board. Well, a match on the board for Michigan State. The probe survived throughout all of it. I do love the boldness of people in the chat claiming this is Gold League after the lobby. Before the match, showing them in Gold League. Very bold prediction and great observation from the chat, as always. Thank you for your analysis. But all right, game 2. Well, I'm hoping. "12 kills Zealot." They get the probes. That probe. Oh no. Oh, emaps. I don't get how when I play in Gold League it's hard, but when I watch Gold players they seem bad. Odd world. You know, it's that lack of ability to have objective analysis that makes me seem quite profound, I think. When I play game hard, but when they play game noob. All right. Going into game 2. Golden Aura for the Gold League heroes.
It's about time.
Everyone I play is a smurf who plays super fast and I can't keep up, but these players are so slow. Off we go. Golden Aura. Double delete. Your resident Terran. I'm not sure if there are any other Terrans. And if there are, I'm gonna stereotypically assume they're on U of M. But I could be proven wrong quite easily. Alright, game 2. Golden Aura. Xenos Star top left in the green. Emaps, bottom right, in the maze. Yes. Which is apparently different than yellow somehow. Are we descending down the MMR ladder? We're going for targets of opportunity. Pretty much whoever's sitting down at their computer ready to play is next up. So far is our method. Which I think is the best one for many, many reasons. The probe headed out. Time for the chest bump. There you go. If they had a chest, that's really metaphorical there. The probe doing a little drifting around the Nexus. And now we see the bill. Ah! Probe blocked it out for a moment. Cyber core on either side. The standoff. The stare down. What are you up to, Billy? Not much, Fred. My name's Jeff. Okay, Fred. Zealot? No Zealot? The probe remains. This time, Emaps has chosen a bit more of a conspicuous location. Wait, what? Another probe moving on? The tension between these two is too much. Emaps can't handle it anymore. Moves on. No! Take me back! And where are we headed? Pretty conspicuous. Well, technically out of vision. Out of sight, out of mind. For both players, as we saw last game. But I think he's figured it out this time. Oh, wait. Emaps. Comes in with the probe. Another probe. Dancing around. Now, it's more stressful when both players have probes, because they're both suspicious of probes, because they know how dangerous probes could be. Causing so many problems. No, the Zealot! Doesn't quite get the kill. And then runs directly into a wall and gets slaughtered. Well, and so ends the saga of the probe. Robo's on the way. Twilight, Forge, Robo. I'm not just naming parts of the tech tree from the Prima strategy guide. In fact, these are the build. We're watching probes mining because that is the most relevant thing to the next 5 minutes of the game until they wait. Let me reach deep. I can't make a prediction yet on the timing, but place your bets. Oh, the observers pass, but this time it is Emaps who is closer to the other side. We'll get a full scout. I'm looking forward to the observer just taking up approximately half the screen several patches from now, as we continue to increase the size, as Terran players get older and have to put on their reading glasses in order to figure out where the observers are, in order to instantaneously scan them. Observers. Both players inspired by the other player doing the similar strategy. Ah, yes. Gates on the way. Looks like Xenostar has a bit of a more comfortable grasp on macroing it up. But Immortals in production. Well, both sides heading towards the Immortals. No warp prism. How many gates? 2 gates. And 1 more being added on, but Emap's really prioritizing those upgrades. So was Xenostar, who's already got +1 done. More pylons. Templar archives as we slowly but surely filled in. Ah yes, the observer may have well. It's time for the 3rd. Will Emaps take a 3rd? Or is he lining up an attack timing? Does he know? An even better question. I will say a diligent use of the observers with surveillance mode from both sides, which is quite important. Ah, okay, so it's going to be 10-15. It's a very similar game, but they'll both remember last one. So. A college tournament involving the 2 schools I like the least. I can't believe they even get internet in Ohio. I thought they were more backwards than that. Templar archives on the way for Xenostar. As we fill in the tech tree. Storm for Emaps. Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest. All right. It is known. I'm interested to see how Storm does, if at all. Yes, it's such a comfortable, like, this is PvP in, if my PvPs were like this, I don't know if I'd like it more. But certainly a more leisurely method of going about it. Michigan team should have chosen blue. I tried blue. I think yellow looks better on most maps against green. It's kind of a rough matchup for that, to be honest, because you can't choose just white for the colors, otherwise the names wouldn't even show up. I don't think you can choose it at all, but the names don't show up in the overlay. Is another concern. All right, 1 minute on the clock. Who will be the aggressor? 1 minute on the clock for my arbitrary prediction of 10 minutes and 15 seconds on the fight. Looks like Xenostar ready to move out. Emaps lining it up. Xenostar jumping the gun here. Or is he? Bringing the Warp Prism out. And they may happen into each other a bit early. No pulling back. No, it's not time yet. You got 20 seconds. And then it's fighting time. All right, 10 minutes. All right, 10 seconds off. Once again within the margin of error. Will we see the storms? Indeed. But who are they hitting more of? I truly do not know. But honestly, those storms doing a lot of damage. But does that mean he's going to be able to hold the line? Another wave of zealots is coming in. The storms, definitely, they're helping. But the choke point is a bit rough here for Emaps yet again. Xenostar's more conventional army composition is going to be more effective. Emaps has a slight upgrade advantage, but his units just aren't fighting. A wave of charge lots is warped in. The immortal count is so damn high right now. The Archon's going to eat some of the damage. Immortals blasting each other apart. More charge lots. But Xenostar may very well have the numbers here in order to overrun the fourth base. Well, another Archon on the way. Let's see if less charge lots beats more charge lots. Maybe. Probably not, though. The Spartan Zealots rolling through. 20 of them against 0, which is quite a disparity. And, well, a shield battery overcharge not going to save you from that much firepower. Or is it? Oh my god, a 1 HP Archon. But it's still not quite enough. Really relying on those Templar. More shields, but I think it's time to play them out. And in match number 2, Xenostar will power through and even the score up at 1-1. The Gold League match heads to the Spartans. I'm not sure if we have one for each league, but like generally the same level. Either way, congratulations. And Xenostar with some incredible... Oh god. Look who's back. The Star Flare. Wait. We said me. But I don't see a me. I see a fish, though. Me is on the... All right, looks like our Diamond League match is lined up. I'm gonna keep making. All right, we're just waiting for me to make an appearance. And that brings us... I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I'm reminded of, like, one of my first... what faction is he playing? Faction, you say? I mean, that actually reminds me of my now most popular guide, the New Player's Guide to StarCraft 2 that I released for free to play, being demonetized for a week because in the title I put choosing race and starting multiplayer, which as soon as it got demonetized, I'm like, it's fine now, but you play StarCraft long enough. I'm 1/3 Terran myself, okay? Some of my best friends are Terran. Well, they used to be. They don't talk to people anymore. Wait. Is Cow Goes Moo unrelated to me? Or is me someone? Unrelated. All right. Thank you for the fish, the cat, the cow, and me all walk into a lobby. And we're gonna play ZVZ. All right. Yeah, you can pick your player color, but... Alright. Green. We're ready to go for our Platinum Diamond, our Plymond match. Yeah. Diamantium. Oh, that one sounds way cooler. Don't forget to upgrade score on stream. Fair enough. Good point. All right. First, in our Diamantium match for the Michigan State Spartans, the Zerg, in the green. Me, or as he's known by his friends, me, which is fun at parties, I assume. That he goes to parties. He's not a 10. So, there's that. In the top left, for the Michigan Wolverines, it's Cat. That's it. It's just Cat. just, he's like, what's your name? Cat. So here we are. Zerglings are kind of like cats. when you think about it, but like not too hard. With that said, it's time. The tiebreaker. Me takes his expansion. Meanwhile, Cat with a very interesting... this is quite a spicy cheese here. Going with the quick hatch into Zergling speed.
Detected.
Thank you, Extinct Atlas. This is fully intended to just say surprise and have 30 Zerglings run into your base. We'll have to see if me is ready for it. As the Overlord is actually moving a little out of position here. It should be there in time. He's holding on to the Zerglings in the main. Now, unlike our Protoss, it seems that our Zergs, especially here, the Cat for Michigan, much more intent on ending this a little bit more quickly, making sure we stay on schedule. And right now, well, a good response from me, as he adds the Spine Crawler in, has a good base setup for defending it as well, which is half the battle, possibly more. May lose the expansion, but honestly, the most important thing is just keeping your economy, your drones in this case, alive. Bringing the Zerglings down against the Speedlings. It's a dangerous game, but he's actually going to get a few extra lings. He gets away with it. The expansion is taken out. Cat behind now macro. aka building any amount of drones. Won't go for the main. Spine Crawler completes. Me still has a small drone lead, which does make the difference here. The Zergling count, 16 to 16. Ooh, we got a larva going down. Cat building a spot of his own. So even though he lost the expansion, I think me still finds himself in an okay position. Especially considering Cat just assumes I killed your expansion, therefore I'm ahead. Which is not really how ZVZ works. ZVZ is a bit of a convoluted mess. Because while having an expansion is all well and good, so is having drones. Which, when you go for this early Zergling speed, well, you don't have very many of those. The Zerglings are going to spot it. The Banelings, we actually try to crash through, doesn't bother with it. So Cat getting quite defensive. Me macroing out behind. And, well, it is quite a reflex of those cheesers, in this case Cat, to be overly defensive back at home. Is that a Spore Crawler? That's maybe overestimating the potential economy of his opponent and ability to go mutas. But I'll allow it. It's not too bad. If he starts building 3 or 4 like he's convinced that mutas are on the way, well, that's when things get dicier. But now, instead of a decisive victory for either side, in fact, as is sometimes the case with these sort of aggressive games, it will actually be longer before we fight, because now neither player really has the economy to build up an army in a very timely manner, so we're just gonna flirt around the idea of actually fighting till probably double-digit minutes. The queens. Brenda! This one! This Evo chamber! That's the one in the way! I'm not here to... Could the lanes help? No! Alright, they don't... They need their rest. We're the ones with energy. The queens and the queens alone will eventually make it through the Evo chamber. An Overlord casually strolls into the main and we'll get a full scout of all the gas, but no lair, very importantly here. A lair almost halfway done for me. As, so far, well, letting the Zerglings and Roaches out, Cat just... The worker count now looking pretty healthy. Single Zerglings making their way across. There's still the Spine hanging out in the main, kind of blocking some of the mining as well. Are there enough Roaches to make it? Well, the Baneling Micro is, well, non-existent out of, me. But does have so many Banelings, it might be enough at the end of the day. 5 Roaches is a weird number here. Enough to potentially do the damage since there really aren't that many Zerglings. And the hatchery... No cancel. Spire and Roach weren't on the way, but Cat actually manages to take another advantage. Doesn't have a hatchery behind. Just now taking it. And now things are gonna get weird again. As Zerglings headed across the map. There's enough Roaches to be a moderate inconvenience here. But shouldn't be enough to just end the game. The Roaches are just kind of chilling. More getting cut off by some of the reinforcements. The Zerglings join up with their friends, losing a couple more here. The Spire's halfway done. The Banelings really try to get involved. But me is a bit indecisive at the moment. The Queens need to get involved in the fight. And this is like watching someone drown in quicksand as the Roaches are slowly but surely working their way through everything. The Queen's fighting. More Roaches will pop out. Transfuse. +1 is done for Cat, which is a pretty decisive upgrade advantage in Roach versus Roach. More Roaches on the way. The Spire is done, but unfortunately no Mutas either. And it looks like Cat has been able to grind out a bit of an unwieldy victory, but a victory nonetheless. As me is only able to pull together the defenses. The natural goes down. And the Roaches will slowly but surely, like, a sumo wrestler rolling over a guinea pig with the Roaches. The drones are pulled to fight. 2 Mutas also exist. The Roaches are a bit misrallied. But it's a disaster for me. Technically, the Mutas will eventually kill all the Roaches. The only question is whether there will be any drones or buildings left. Taps it out. Amusingly, Roach speed now finishing for both players. Me. More like me no GG. But I'm sure, just an accident, of course. But game 1 goes to Cat. But there's still a chance. The cheese into cheese follow-up. Not really a cheese. The Roaches. That was just putting it out there and seeing if it stuck. And we did end up getting there. Is there a bracket? Somewhere. The players are matched up based on the rough skill levels in order to make for the most entertaining games, of course. I don't know. Did one Bane beats 200 supply of Zerglings. You know what? Golden Aura. Game 2. In the bottom right. This time in the maze. For University of Michigan is Cat. And for the Michigan State Spartans. In the green in the top left. Me! Extractor trick. To start things off. Looks like Cat not going for the same ultra cheese. I do think it could have gotten even more done. The Zergling count and the speed were there. But me opting for a pool. An extractor tricking again. Interesting. Cat just going for the hatch first this time around. We'll see if that ends up backfiring. No gas for either side. Though, Cat thinking about it. So no Zergling speed early. We got a bit more of a macro game on our hands, such as it is. It is, I'm sure, going to be a bit convoluted in that process. I think last game we didn't really get to see Me's full power. No. Clearly, able to respond to the pressure. Almost so cool under pressure that he didn't respond at all, which ended up being the kind of like a boiling the frog situation. But still, an important skill in being able to turn it around. An interesting location to have that Overlord hanging out. A very... okay. 2 spines on the way for Cat. Known for their flexible spines. Curious. Just Zergling speed for me. More Evo chambers. There a wall of Evo chambers. Which, Cat just making sure all his bases are covered. Definitely doesn't like Zerglings getting in. He knows, as the person who usually gets the Zerglings in. Me will scout at least 2 Evos, now 3. Which, indeed, tells a story. Not sure what story yet. Like, probably a lair. No, +1 ranged attack. We're setting up for a roach timing hit. Me has a roach warren of his own back at home. And building these Evo chambers and building these spines, that costs drones. Every Evo chamber, another drone. Every spine, another drone. And, of course, one of them's going to have to be taken out in order to let the roaches run free. Overlord. Wandering. Not really wandering. It's gracefully gliding. Gathering as much intel as possible. Gonna see the gases. Which isn't exactly a giveaway. Flare for both sides. Near simultaneous. Another Overlord. Gliding menacingly. In through the main this time. Oh, and the Evo Chamber has been unleashed. The Zergling! Spotted at the natural. Roach is on the way for me. But +1 attack is quite a decisive upgrade in Roach battles. So, even if the numbers are about even, that +1 will make all the difference. Me will be able to scout in and see the Roaches producing. And now it's on him to defend. Baneling's on the way. The Queen's pulled off the line. And he knows what's coming. The Roach count. 12 for Cat to just 9 for me. Hydra Den on the way for Cat behind. Third hatch, but third hatch already done. For his counterpart. The +1 is the difference here. Falling back, needs the Queens. The Baneling's got to do some damage. A couple pop out. Optimistic creep spread here. There's not quite enough Roaches for me at the moment. But this time around, there's no trickle of Roaches across the map. Some of the drones will die here. The hatchery itself under attack. And here come the Queens out in front, taking some of the damage. Very important to be able to absorb some of the shots. And a good concave. No Roach speed for either side. And going the wrong way! The Roaches get caught, 8 drones down. But now me has a decisive Roach advantage. And can trundle across the map with nearly 3 times as many. So it's up to Cat to build up to defend. Groovy Spines on the way. Roach Ravager. The Spine's not quite in position. Me. No upgrades. Corrosive Bile definitely a threat here. Spinecrawler coming up. Cat has managed to put a few more drones on the field after killing so many on the other side. Roach speed for both sides. And the Roach counts are getting a lot closer to even. Some Ravagers for me. And for you. And for Cat as well. +2, +1 for Cat. Overall, the advantage is adding to the Michigan player as time goes on. Throwing up a few Corrosive Biles, clipping a Roach as well. Though maybe not the ideal fighting location. Corrosive Bile is going to take out the Ravager. One thrown back. But me, continually producing Roaches. The Ravager's out in front, though. Corrosive Bile getting big hits and a lot of damage there. It's going to come down to the Roach speed. And Roach speed about 10 seconds faster for the Wolverine player. Might be able to chase down some of them. 1-1 now done. Or at least +1 attack, which means the upgrades have evened up, but that Roach speed is so important. He's fighting. Oh, the move command! Oh, no! Oh, no! It's a disaster for Cat as me is able to take a decisive fight on the high ground and turn it around. Oh, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal, right-click. As just like that, how the turntables have turned, and DJ Me is now in command of the match. 147, 132 supply. +2, +1, not quite done yet. Upgrade advantage to the Spartan player. At least for a few more moments. Gonna battle it out. Corrosive Bile doesn't land. Still fighting. Couple Hydras at the back. Trying to get a counterattack done. The Spinecrawler stalling it out for a moment. And banelings crash in as well. No fourth base for either side. The Evo Chambers might be able to get the +2. Oh, a huge play. Denies +2 attack, and that means the upgrades will remain even, which is great news for me. Though losing a lot of roaches on the way out. See if we can draw them into the move command yet again. Setting up a counterattack. Dead even supply. 153, but supply blocked. There's a hive on the way for Cat, who has 12 more workers here. +2 starts for both sides now, yet again. Lurker Den is done. Hydra Den just started for me. A handful of roaches. Not using Select All Army Hockey. Some credit there. We'll see if that's able to make the difference. 4th and 5th base for Cat. 4th base attempted on the other side as well. Roach Ravager. Still the choice. No lurkers, despite the Lurker Den for Cat. Now adding them on, but the Zerglings and the Roaches to the southern base might be able to intercept the army. Gonna get caught. Exactly what he needed. And the Roach Ravager. The Lurkers are almost done, but they're not here yet. Target's down 1. Gets 2. Gets the base killed as well. And diving in might be able to snipe off +2 yet again. He does. The hive itself could be vulnerable. They'll also possibly be. Gets to the high ground. Reinforcements on their way across. Holds the ramp. Throws up the corrosive bile like a particularly egregious after-game party. And now the Roach Ravager is holding the high ground. The Spartans hold the ramp. But Cat is able to slip some of the Hydras up. Corrosive bile on the center mass. 5 drones down. Zerglings stopped by the spy. And it looks like eventually Cat's reinforcements will be able to grind through. But at what cost? Ends up down a few supply here. The fight did not go quite as well as hoped. Though +2 is still on the way. Gotta be careful not to bleed out too many roaches. Ooh. Despite everything, will end up with an upgraded Vantage, which could be decisive going forward. But the most important thing is that Cat remembers his Lurker Den, which I think has been forgotten in the midst of everything. And again, the Lurkers are coming in. Another group of Zerglings intercepts a drone. The Lurkers up. Burrow is down. I'm not sure that's okay. All right. The Lurkers will complete. He regens there. The Lurkers are the most important part of this game now. They will burrow. Do they have upgrades? Lurker range is about halfway done. In full retreat. And there are no overseers. Now, this is a play. There is an overseer on this side. Oh my. Does he just... Oh no. My god. Jumps on top. The Lurkers will burrow. And even though the play was inspirational, the timing just wasn't quite there. And it looks like Cat might have what it takes. The Lurkers are slicing through, and he is not going to be able to muster much of a defense unless the Lurkers somehow get caught here. But they're going to eviscerate the roaches. And the numbers just aren't there. Cat pounces. The Roach Ravager. Not enough here. Some great moves from me, but at the end of the day, Cat's unit composition just too strong to break through. And it's gonna be 2-1 for Michigan. We gotta put it on the board. Pretty intense match. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it. I liked the continued snipes on the upgrades, making all the difference there. But unfortunately for you and me, the match will not continue. As Cat slices through. Meathead versus Fish is next. And I'll go. I get some more water before this iconic match. All right. Terran versus Protoss. Our high diamond low masters. What an iconic battle. Is Fish a meat? Depends who you ask. The experts. 2 Kaczynski portraits as well. Bit of a judgment here for me. That's how you know. These are real gamers. All right. In the top left for Michigan State, we have not our only animal, but our highest skilled one so far. It is Fish. The green Protoss. And up against him for the University of Michigan, it is Meathead, the blue Terran. The battle is joined. Terran versus Protoss, SCV versus Pro, Michigan versus Michigan State. The Spartans relying on Fish to draw it back even. Whereas Meathead has an opportunity to potentially put Michigan... I'm not sure how we're counting the 2v2s in terms of score. But potential to put them at a significant lead. Now, all matches will be played, but decisive victory is better than a Pyrrhic one. Quite a economical build out of Meathead. Slaps down the command center on the high ground. I don't think he has enough space for a reactor, though, so that's going to be awkward. How are you going to handle that, my friend? Not well. Reaper on the way across. Now, first Adept. He does have a Reaper wall. He goes for the probe. The Reaper. If it takes a second hit, the Adept might be able to snipe it off, but throws it really... Oh! Would have gotten away clean if it wasn't for my own grenade. The completely unnecessary, almost anti-micro play, but still holds on to it. Unfortunately, because of whatever architectural disaster this is, there's actually no wall up to the high ground. And that bunker a bit late. The Marines? Ooh. Well. SCV will tank some hits, but the Adept now are gonna slow things down dramatically. We have a 3 racks play out of Meathead. I think that fits. The probe softened up some of these SCVs. So going to be able to get 2 so far. Shading out, looking for more. Might actually finish off the Adept just barely. Very important there. Things were getting out of hand. A second Adept on the way across. Blink. And a Robo. So quite a conventional PvT build. The second Adept, though, wandering forward. Getting a little ahead of itself, but there's still no wall because of, like, the aforementioned architectural struggles. Quite an SCV transfer as well. Wow, really focused on that bio army, which does match up well against the more standard kind of economical blink. It is just 2-gate blank here. Has a 3rd on the way, but he's looking for a 3rd base. So I don't think Fish actually acknowledged that there's 3 racks bio on the way. There may very well not be enough Stalkers. Thankfully for him, there's no concussive shell done. So the Stalkers won't be walking into their own demise. In fact, they'll be able to snipe off one of the Marines. And this is incredibly annoying to deal with. Yeah. With concussive, this actually would be a bit of a disaster. We'll see how much he's able to get with the Stalkers. Getting any Marauders would be amazing, but losing any Stalkers could be disastrous. Concussive on the way. Meathead gonna come rumbling across the map. Immortal done for Fish. Stalker's looking for something. Combat shield completed. Only 3 gates. He's not building another Immortal, and there's no shield battery at the 3rd. So, Fish has quite a... Nope. Did he get stuck? Did he right-click on the rock? Okay. If that shield battery is done, it's still dicey. Second Immortal and a shield battery are very important here. There's the stim. Looking to chase it down. Trying to get as much as he can done right off the bat. Will do so. No shield battery overcharge. Targets down the batteries. Fish pulling some probes. And the Marines are thinning out rather quick here. Just decides to go for the probe, so Fish mitigating the damage pretty well. It definitely could have been worse. He does lose the shield batteries, but he keeps the army intact. A bit Meathead, unsurprisingly, a little unfocused there. So ends up not finding the decisive timing that he was looking for. Meathead really loves transferring large amounts of SCVs back and forth between his bases. I'm not sure where he's getting all these SCVs from. But here we are. He's now inventing factory technology for the 2nd time in his career. But the bio army coming together. He's even got the +1. The concussive is done, so you gotta be very careful with those Stalkers. Preemptive decoy depots here. Interesting choice. We'll see if Meathead takes the bait and stims. Very patient. There's a Dark Shrine on the way, which could be a decisive play. There are no turrets. He's dropping all the mules. So the DTs could end this game somewhat prematurely. As Fish has consolidated at the 3rd. He's got 1-1. He's got a robo... Oh my god. He's just got the entire control center here. Double Forge, Dark Shrine, Twilight Council. And his gates near that Reaper wall. One DT making its way out. I think it really comes down to whether a scan is ready. He's been dropping the mules religiously. Meathead where does he keep getting all these SCVs? I guess he's only body out of 3 gas is why, but feels like he has way so many. Very macro oriented, but still no acknowledgement. This is one of those where he's built up such a large but vulnerable army. Not a single turret. He's got a single tank here, building a Liberator and a Medevac. Doesn't even have a hotkey for any of his army units. Fish only has a hotkey for his stalkers, so, you know. There's a sensor tower on the way, but won't spot anything here. Fish also taking his 4th. What's the gateway count? Only 3. Definitely needs to shore that up. Medevac drop flies directly past. Yeah, well. Directly past an observer. Very bold move. Very dead Medevac. Absolutely obliterated. That should give away the observer. You're allowed to go over 16. It's just a little bit less efficient, but certainly more efficient than long-distance mining. Oh no. The disruptors, but he gets a Marine. The opening salvo. Unclear if that was intentional micro or not, but the DTs will be revealed here. A stim. There's a warp prism. Gets the DT. The prism is in a conspicuous location, but doesn't quite... It's like the Liberator got shut down as well. DTs in the main could be an absolute disaster. Oh, and there already are DTs in the main. One makes it in. Working on the natural. Disruptors trying to come up. Good concave. Decent chunks here. Micro's back, but the Marauders are holding. DT's slicing through the workers. He's got 10, 11 of them. Warping in more Zealots as well. A scan, but the Zealots will come in. Actually, there's a tank on the low ground helping out a bit. But Meathead's starting to come apart at the seams here. There is a planetary. Disruptor shot. Micro's away. Great split. A fadeaway shot. Ooh, leans into it a bit. Another shot. Doesn't find anything. The warp prism is still hanging out in the main base. Warping in, well, doing what it does. Bit of an awkward fight. Meathead brings the Marines out. 1-1. 2-2's about to finish for Fish, so it's just getting harder and harder to see Meathead able to move out here. Fish just decides to sit back and build up the... Ooh, fancy skin on those Colossi. The SCV count continues to dwindle. Did he get the... No, the Warp Prism is out in the corner. He is building a Viking. There's a grand total of 1 Medevac, which seems maybe a bit low. He's building 1 more, though, so it'll be fine. Bio Army. Stims aggressively into the sunset. Not sure what that was. Hallucinated something? Turrets in the main. Quite a wall off here. The Bio Army actually coming out at a convenient timing for Meathead. Widowmine finds a connection. 5 Colossi. 6 Colossi. That is an overwhelming number, but does he have... He has to recall back, actually. The Bio Army will run directly into all of the Colossi. Stimming away. Doing a lot of stimming lately. Oh, but a Colossus! Who's flanking who? I think the Colossus gets it, but takes a bit of damage. Sending out another Bio Army. Meathead. He just keeps building barracks. It's gonna be barracks 10 and 11 coming online now, which is certainly... Even some SCVs helping to lead the charge. Meathead has 84 SCVs! Meathead is so accurate. It feels like he keeps running into a wall and the wall is retreating. Well, stims again. Those bio units only have a few stims in them. The Disruptor finds a good chunk, and this army has the upgrade advantage and so much splash damage. The Colossi are a bit distracted by those decoy barracks, but there's no... Well, on the other side, the bio army is... no, it's not gonna do it. No, 6 Colossi. 7 Colossi, actually. Yeah. Well, Meathead, quite aptly named Fish, will take it home, but Meathead did not make it easy. Quite a, capable performance. We're going to Golden Aura for game 2. Meathead's almost obstinate lack of starport units, to an extent, helpful. Like, his lack of caring about countering his opponent's army against Fish, who was clearly trying to outmaneuver him, almost gave him an advantage. We're going into Golden Aura. We will see. Can Meathead come up with something? Or will Fish continue? What an accurate name. No heart. They both went for the heart last time, but Meathead with a distinct lack of heart in game 2. What could it mean? The probe heads across. The most stressful part of every game. Hopefully Meathead doesn't wall off his own reactor this time, assuming that's the direction he wants to go. Oh. A bit late on the wall in. I think he wanted to deny the scout there, but didn't quite have the minerals to do so. Sir, this is private property. SCV. Conspicuously. I thought it was going to go for the gold. I thought it was going to go for the gold. I was hoping it would go for the gold. But thinking about the expansion. Patrolling here. Will Fish react in time to the Marine? That's the question. Yes! Exactly what he was looking for. Though a bit of a dicey situation. You have only like half a second before that Marine gets the shots off to kill the probe. Not even a Reaper wall. Does that... That doesn't wall. That's not... I guess you could put like an Adept there. Advanced Reaper wall. Probe. Checking his corners. You know, against Meathead, I'm not surprised. He may end up at the watchtower. Bunker on the way. May complete this time. Oh no, but the reactor timing is so off. If the bunker doesn't finish, this is an absolute disaster. Thankfully, the shade didn't come through, but it's... Okay, alright. So these 3 seconds that the Adept wasn't moving are gonna save the day. Alright. If that bunker did not complete, there's no Marines for at least a little while, and things start to spiral again. Twilight Council. A 1-1-1 out of Meathead. The barracks factory and stuff actually completes the shade through. The SCV is going to be pulled to help out. Oh, good micro away. Oh no! He doesn't get it. Bit of a mistake there out of Meathead. And the Adept will get away with murder. Charge in Templar Archives. Fish looking to get a lot more aggressive this time around. The Robo, I have to assume, for a Warp Prism as well. We'll see if he tries for a third or if this is just an Archon charge slot all-in. Against the 1-1-1 with very little production, could easily be a game winner. But also has a lot of potential to go wrong. There's a reason Blink is kind of the default choice. Storm. Wow. A Storm Rush. Adept shading across. Casual Liberator. Or Prism in production. Adept? Whoop. Canceled at the last moment. No third base out of Fish. There's only 2 gates. So he's really investing heavily in a Storm Rush here. How many Stalkers are there? 1 Stalkers. That's not very many, and he's not paying attention to the main where Meathead just casually sieges up a Liberator. Gets 4 kills, gets out. And no 4th base, or 3rd base rather, even more important. So far out of Fish. Is that Stalker walled in? No. No. Is it? No. It's just weird it's not moving. Like, if there was a time to move, I think it would be now. It looks weird. I don't know what's happening over here. Adept gets blasted. No, it's not walled in. It was just cozy. All right. Well, here comes this attack. Warp Prism, Storm, and the Templar will use their storms and reveal it, but there's not actually really enough follow-up here to deal with this. And the Liberator, no, he pulled away. He's still not mining. The tank just gonna battle the Stalker. Fish hasn't been mining for quite a while. And this kind of demonstrating why we usually go Blink instead of rushing Storm or charge slots, as even a single Liberator can become a deadly tool in the hands of even a Meathead. How about the rest of you? Just one? Nope, nobody. All right. Ah, that first Liberator. We've had first Liberator, but have we had second Liberator? Which, usually not as effective, but depending on the timing. The Storm Drop is coming in as the Liberator sieges, which is not an ideal timing for really either side, but good micro with the SCVs. The Probes, though, gets 5 SCV kills, 3 Probes for the Liberator so far. And the Warp Prism takes a bunch of damage. The Liberator gets out. So Meathead so far getting the better end of things. So the momentum heavily in his favor. He's got the economy, he's got the production. No upgrades for either side. He has double engineering bay whenever he remembers it. Storm Drop coming in. Oh no, he is paying attention. There's not enough energy for Storm, awkwardly. The Liberator, I like this, sieging up the 4th base there. No stim, so the Marines just have to run longingly after it. This is awkward. As the Stalkers were on a move command, which means the Liberator just casually sieges up the third and forces things away again. He's going to lose it this time. But Meathead with some appropriately named strategy. Just throw the Liberator out there, see what sticks. And so far, it's done well enough. 1-1 on the way. The tanks kind of trickling. He has got 4 tanks, though they are well spread. He cancels the command center. Very important here. Gonna try to drop and storm the bio, as well as go for the mineral line. Doesn't get a decisive amount of either. And, well, there's another storm. Just wades through it. The Marauders feeling very uncomfortable, and the Marines not feeling anything at all. 2 Liberators. Ah, an advanced tactic. Now with 2 Liberators, you can die to Stalkers, but it's gonna take a little longer. Oh, doesn't quite micro away. The Liberators continue their effort. He gets another probe. I mean, they're still getting damage done. The problem here is Fish doesn't have the probe count. He hasn't been able to get over 60 probes, which is really kind of the minimum. The Warp Prism is recalled home. The Liberator sieges up and finds another angle. The probes obligingly will go through it. Gets another 3 kills. 6 kills in total. This Marine aggressively scouting directly into the Immortals. Very dead now. But the Liberator Micro is, well, it's getting the job done. The Stalkers will come up. Not getting a great angle. He'll get 1 Stalker, but I think this Liberator was certainly worth it. But Meathead finishes his 1-1 upgrades. Does he have an armory? No. But more command centers on the way. 67 SCVs. Burrowed a Widow Mine at the alternative 4th. Just looking to see if there are any Liberators out there. Some more body block depots. The Marine will scout the army moving out. All right, yeah, those Stalkers just standing by. The army supply, though, heavily in favor of the Michigan Terran. He's so, like, he does so many SCVs, it feels like. Oh, and the Templar, the Storm! He actually, the SCVs, he doesn't care. He's like, oh, you're storming me? Come at me, bro. Let's go. And I think the SCVs win that fight if they don't bring the Storms to it. Like, goes right through the storm. Gotta appreciate. I love your gumption, son, but you're in way over your head. Now the command center under fire. The Storms, Liberator also here. The command center will be saved. 21 SCVs will die. There are so many Templar. He has so many Storms. But will it be enough? There's not that many medevacs either. Fish starting to, once again, pull the Terran apart. There is no planetary over to the left side. Widow Mine just, oh my. Well, the Storm's trying to break through. The Widow Mine manages to burrow, though. A disaster. Gets 4 probes and an armory's done. So the economic damage will continue. He starts a cannon, but that mine will fire again beforehand. There's charge lots into the main. Charge lots at the natural. Siege tanks will be sliced up, though most of the charge lots will be taken out of the process. The main base, the production, he actually drops some Marines back into the main. The rest of the army's coming back to defend. 14 SCVs down, but a Liberator and a Widow Mine, the tag team combined, get 10 probes as well, and Fish is left 5 workers down. I'm very optimistic with that Liberator pathing. Did he get Blink? No. Just now starting it, I'm sure. There may have been something in the main, not sure. But Meathead is nearly maxed out. Though, has yet to discover 2-2 upgrades. And here we go again. There are 7 near full energy Templar on the field. This could be an absolute disaster for both sides. Oh, the Storms. The Storms! Looking at maximum damage. Feedbacks. He actually used a lot of energy on those feedbacks. I think a double stim on the Marines. Another storm coming through. He's starting to run out of energy. Liberator in the main. Liberator in the natural. Liberation is at hand. Sweet liberty. Oh my. The damage is being done. 14, 16 probes. He's losing SCVs. But Protoss does not have mules. And Meathead, well, starting to bleed out a bit. He's gonna lose. Well, one command center is lifted. The storms. Oh, he dodges away, but that command center should go down. More coming up. Liberators over the top. More storms. Most of the bio-army. The medevac's entirely out of energy. Another storm. Ghost, never heard of them. They're just very well cloaked. Are there any more storms? Maybe he'll run out. That's essentially what he's banking the entire game on. So far, it hasn't paid off. Fish may be able to cleave through. With more storms than hurricane season. Oh no, the move command against his own depot. And actually, it looks like Fish has managed, with 7 Templar, to turn it all around as Meathead. Well, once again, his strongest move so far has been naming himself, it seems. As despite having almost every advantage, Fish is able to flop his way through. Well, there's still some siege tanks. He doesn't have the upgrades, though. A classic move. Just kind of forgetting. The Colossi are distracted by depots, as is customary. But the Zealots are absolutely eviscerating the mineral line. And GG. Fish takes it 2-0, but it was a convoluted path towards victory, but one he was able to walk just barely. And that ties us up 2-2. So, that brings us to our last, but not least, 1v1 match. We also have a 2v2 lined up. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but we're all tied up here. Gonna have to find a way to break this tie. Franz G versus I think Fish is just observing. Franz G, solid masters. Fish was as well. I'm assuming it's not... Ah, yes. All right. Any moment. So, 2-2. It comes down to this. A bit of a fanciful Protoss strategy, but still comes through. The Liberators taking their toll. Ah, welcome back. Me! Don't think that's our... No. Ah. A barcode. Grandmaster. We don't usually allow barcodes around these parts, but pretty solid indeed. Doing the classic move of putting his clan tag as his name, which does not show up on the observer UI, but at least I guess it's an attempt. And you know what? He's high enough up GM, I have to give him a bit of a nod for using the barcode. As once you get to like top 100, there actually is some value in it, as so many people are using it. Wrong account, he says. Just had to throw that one in there. But now we know. And you can tell he's a top tier player because he was able to change accounts in like 15 seconds. A classic. Alright, that's a real pro. Zerg versus Protoss for our final match. ND versus Franji. Like the oldest Dark portrait as well. Gotta appreciate that. So we forgot to tell them to pick the right... Well, we're here now. All right. Anyways, for what is our last 1v1 match of this showdown, we have from the University of Michigan Wolverines, the Protoss in the yellow, in the maize. It's Franz G. And the last challenger for the Spartans, looking to put him over the top. It is in the red, which we're going to need to fix next game. ND. Which, as I made up right now, stands for 90 drones. So quite a macro player himself. We will see. As even though there was quite a disparity in the last match, still a close one indeed. ND, Grandmaster, Franz G, Solid Masters. Which, I think that does give ND the edge, but every Zerg knows how dangerous Protoss can be when backed into a corner. And they're pretty much perpetually backed into a corner by the Zerg, which is a bit of a paradox, but moving on. We will see after this match whether we're playing 1 or 2 2v2s, which may be the opportunity for one team to solidify their victory or to turn it around. Kind of depends on how long this match takes, I think. So far, the meta is intact. Going to be 3 hatch with speed, pulled off a gas up against the Stargate. 1 adept, even getting it before the warp gate research. First shade across to confirm, but the Zerglings have slipped around. And unfortunately, the probe slightly out of position, has to chrono boost the adept out. A moderate inconvenience indeed. May lose a probe. Oh, gets a good surround on one of the lings. Box out the other. Good micro from Franzji. And coming around trying to finish off that probe, but he puts it into the gas. Clever move. Takes it out. Solid micro to defuse the situation. Oracle on the way, but certainly not an ideal start. Twilight behind. And 2 more gates, so kind of leading in towards probably a bit of a glaive to depth play. Single Zergling, but gets the probe back. There's no other Zerglings out there. He's building 10 of them, but they won't be out by the time the third base is already well on the way. 16 lings. He seems very intent. And more importantly, there's no second Oracle and no Warp Gate done. So without those things, well, he's going to spot the lings on the way out. Very important. And there are the glaives. He cancels the third, which may be a bit premature, but not even going to try to defend it, or at least buy some time with it, but definitely a safe move. And I was talking about backed into a corner. More Adepts warped in. That will give away the gateway count. Oracle lit up here. Glaives in production. Gonna retake the third, but I think ND has already done what he's been looking to do, which is keep the pressure on. The Adepts get surrounded, but the Oracle, this is just still going to be too much. And ND has gotten everything he wanted with this. He canceled the third, keeps the Adepts back, and buys time to get a layer of Roach Warren, third base on the way. And the Queen's in position to block out the Oracle. 52 drones. Importantly, Franchi did cut some of his probes in order to hit this glaive to depth timing. Unfortunately, the roaches should already be coming out. Well, he's not building roaches. That is one saving grace potentially here, and there's no overlords left. He doesn't know about the Adepts yet. So, with nothing but drones in production, actually a bit of hubris here out of ND. Gonna get a Queen and shade directly into the third. The shade is good. The Queen's gonna help out. The glaive to depth's definitely getting damage done. So, some opportunity to recoup some of the losses. And gets into the natural with 3 drones, or 3 Adepts. We're gonna start slicing through the drones. A whole bunch of lings coming out now. Good positioning for Franzi. Heads to the main. Breaks through one of the Adepts. Gets to the back line, but 2 more Adepts in the main. Gonna find a couple more drone kills. 7 in total, but he was droning behind. So, that damage is good. Is it good enough? Yeah. Templar Archives +1. ND behind this. He kept up on his creep spread. He still has the Queens. He has the Larva. And he's got the speed upgrades. Storm on the way. The Spartan Protoss. Wait, no. This is a Michigan pack. These Protoss in general and their Storm. Definitely a strong call against the Mass Zergling, but also an expensive one. Baneling speed finishing the creep spread is good. Adepts being sent out just to keep them busy. Maybe we'll go for the creep tumor. Yep. That's a lot of Zerglings. Really needs that storm. And that's only the next step of the process. Has a stasis set up. And the 65 drones. But very focused on the army supply here. I think intending to smash any army that moves out. But thankfully for Franzi, he's sitting back and setting up to defend. So ND, in building all this army supply, not really going to be able to use it very efficiently. Unless he's able to catch Franzi out of position. Adepts surrounded. +1 melee is about to complete, but the only upgrade so far for the Zerg. Hive Tech on the way. And a big round of drones just popped out. Supply tells quite a story. Plus 1 ground weapons done. Only 4 gates, but 3 more in production. For the Michigan player. But everything's just a bit faster. And obviously the supply. Though gets a bit supply blocked awkwardly. The Templar here. Spire on the way. Potentially anticipating carriers, but Broodlord's in general a strong choice. Oracle tags the Zerglings. Charge is now done. Hive completed. ND setting up for a multi-pronged attack as the Hive tech comes online. There is a Stalker at the natural to hold the gate, but it can't do it forever or for very long at all. Everything coming back to done. Franz G supply blocked at a critical time, and the Zerglings will get into the main. But as they kill probes, Zerglings in the fourth, blocking out at the natural, but losing so much. 22 probes dead, and more being rallied into the slaughter. The timing on point, and the Templar being caught. 1, 2, all of them going down while looking the other way. A dismantling. And there goes the Nexus. Loses 30 probes, most of the Templar, and the 4th base. Well, he's not dead. But and here come 37 more Banes. Greater Spire, plus 2 melee, adrenal glands. How many Templar? 3. Do they even have Storm? Not quite yet. Like 2 seconds off, forced to merge. That's not gonna matter. The Banelings roll in. And it looks like Franz G gonna be tapping out. GG. ND takes game 1. Decisive victory. Well executed. The hero unit, a Baneling. Which is certainly a statement. All right. Is there 2v2? Indeed. There's still a chance for U of M after this. I'm not sure if we're trying to do a best of 3 2v2 or just a single match, but we'll let the teams decide. Is he picking Terran? That'd be an interesting switch indeed. But, match point. Going into Golden Aura. ND to the top left, Franz G, bottom right. Wasn't really... Franz G handled everything, just not well enough. Against a Zerg who's on point, the margins are thin. sometimes non-existent. The Glaive Adepts just didn't come out in time to do the damage. I think he was a little, like, just canceling the third and giving it up instead of using it to buy some time and then canceling, I think may have been a decisive mistake. As even if you're going to end up canceling it, you want to make them waste as much time as possible. Possibly pick off some extra Zerglings. But having 40 lings sent across the map is quite a stressful situation. Oh yeah, thank you to the teams, by the way. Double Delete and Rayboy, especially, for organizing our first matches. If you missed them, you probably did, statistically. For organizing, as always, the StarCraft clubs at both schools. Cool to see, still, really, any StarCraft being played at any schools. But, thank you to them. And make sure, if you are looking at your school, probably has one as well, for those who are still getting educated. Or at least an esports club, where they maybe even play fun games, like Helldivers or something. I don't... And then they watch StarCraft and pretend like they're ever going to load it up and play again. As we all do. Overlord hanging out as it does. Waiting to see. It's just going to be straight to Twilight for Franz G. I'm sure ND checking the Cyber Core, the fact that it is indeed upgrading. Which isn't always a giveaway, but can be, for sure. Like, if you see the Warp Gate right off the bat, usually it's not a Stargate, but at the same time, plenty of players will just get it by default and then get the Stargate a little later. Stalker is on the way. ND actually coming in with the Overlord, may get it picked off by the Stalker, which is a tell in and of itself, but still. I think the question now becomes whether the, yeah, I think he sent it in for that exact reason. Now the question is how much he's able to see. There's the Robo, conspicuously. Re-angles, and he sees the, oh, sees the Twilight. And immediately, I like that. Slaps down the Dark Shrine, kind of playing off his strategy from the last game, which was the Glaive Adepts. And he knows there's enough information given that he's not going to be able to sneak Glaive Adepts or something again. But DT drop, or just DT rush in general, could definitely catch ND off guard, who now isn't expecting a Stargate, and for obvious reasons. So he has plenty of probes, adding more gas. Warp Prism is on the way. The timing looking real sharp here from Franzdi. ND adding the drones. Triple Spore, just in case. The standard move against Twilight, just in case of DTs at this stage of the game, even if you don't think it's Stargate, because otherwise the Adept should already be showing up at the base right about now. Warping it out of vision. I don't know if he flew by the Overlord, but he certainly will now. Will he try to hide it? Well, still has the Prism nearby. Sees the Spore. A bit of sliciness. Actually just fighting the Zerglings. I like it. He's like, well, actually, whoa, these are DTs, bro. Can just maybe kill the Spore. Whoa! Oh, but the transfuse comes through in the drone body block. And Franz G saw an opportunity, but the Queen saved the day. If he gets the Spore, there's no detection. He might even be able to kill the hatch. But it fell apart. He didn't lose the prism, but all 4 DTs. Unfortunate. Quite a costly exchange. He did get a decent amount of links, but it's not worth the DTs. Gonna try some Archon drop action. There is done. Roach speed on the way. ND only 55 drones, though adding a bunch more. Bronzy a bit late on the 3rd, but has plenty of probes. Is there an observer? Unfortunately, no. But just gonna fight and kill the Zerglings. Overlord potentially vulnerable. Charge on the way. Go pretty deep onto the creep here. Oh my. Well, still taking a lot of damage. Those Archons, where you going? Come back! Oh no. Well, a bit deep once again. One gets out. And ND not over droning. I think a very key part. This is when it's easy to get carried away. Yes, sir, can get caught off guard by a follow-up timing. But he's just building roaches. And may throw a few Ravagers in with that much gas, but otherwise should have enough units to match any sort of follow-up time, at least for the near future. Creep spread now extending past the vision blocker, which actually makes it super annoying to creep spread. Archon drop, still. Gets an Overlord. Templar Archives now on the way, making sure to have both flavors. One a little bit cheaper on the minerals. Crunchy with a second Robo and +1 attack as well. Looking for that more conventional Immortal Archon, I believe. A strong choice. The Roach count. Only 65 drones, but right now there are 22 Roaches and these morphin 13 Ravagers. So, that is a hammer coming down. Can Franz G. hold? Trying for the storm. That is a long way off. He has to survive. The corrosive biles raining down. The first wave fires them all onto the shield battery, which actually gives him some extra time here, but sprays across, gets some of the Archons. Immortals blasting. Only one Archon remains. One of the Immortals not in the fight yet. Last Archon, the Queen's getting involved. 3 Immortals holding their ground. Back it off now. Warp Prism is a very important part of this. Needs to be able to micro the Immortals back. Does so for now. He warps in some DTs. There's no detection. A smart move in the midst of things. And the DTs are actually helping to slice through. A huge move during all of this. Warping in more DTs. Gonna lose some of the probes, but actually may be able to kill. A Holt Lock. Great Immortal micro. The Observer. Wait, there was an Overseer behind the base the whole time. So a great move for a moment, but that moment was fleeting. And now the Roach Ravager just smashes through, and ND will take it. And that puts MSU up 3-2. A good effort, but just not enough. All right, I'll leave it up to the team captains to determine what's up next. But when it comes to the 1v1s, MSU 3-2. Cow Goes Moo plus Sparkle Hands versus TBND. Both sides are picking their teams, I believe. We'll see what they have in store for us. But, yeah, the Road Ravager timing. Just hitting so hard. So close with the DTs. But yet, so far. It's gonna be a murder. Yeah, Fish and ND, the top two players on Rayboy says him and Fish, which does even it out a bit, I think. Cow goes Moon Sparkle Hands, I believe, Diamond. And then Fish, Masters, and Rayboy Platinum. Which, quite a mix. I think that sounds fair. And Sparkle Hands and Cow have not made it in yet. We'll see what they got. Is Polka okay? It's the least bad. Wait, this is 3v3. Polka's a fun one. I think it's okay. Yeah, all the maps, so they're not new maps, they're just old maps rehashed. And some of them are terrible, for multiple reasons. Some including just like having indicators in the wrong spot, some where your teammate can block your base with creep. Why do I have it vetoed? I don't remember. I haven't played... How do I even have a map vetoed? That's the question. Because I haven't played 2v2 on this account. It was from the map pool. However many years ago, I think, that the actual map was added the first time. And I vetoed it then, I believe, is what happened. I think teal works. Everyone getting set up. Just gotta find Rayboy for this decider. This could give U of M at least a I think even if they win this, I would give MSU the victory barely, but it would be a lot closer of one. But if MSU takes this, decisive victors, obviously. Almost ready. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Been quite a day of matches. A lot of drama. Which is what we're here for. And good to see people still playing. Is it now a best of 3? I believe we're just playing 1. As they are on a timer for... They're actually in person at Michigan State, I believe. In like a computer lab. Both teams. Though we don't have land, so we're just and believe it or not, I'm not, unfortunately. Gotta relog. The lobby hates him. That happens sometimes. The lobby just decides it doesn't like someone and won't let them in. It happens. We're doing it live. We'll do it live. We'll see. As live it gets, the full live experience. I do love doing these, like, occasional events, but for those wondering why I don't cast, like, the ESL Cup or stuff like that live. Replays are so convenient. Wow, the thumbnail looks so bad. This map actually has a day-night cycle. Just for lighting. It has no effect on the gameplay, but... after like 8 minutes, it turns from, like... I don't know what it starts with, but... the lighting changes, which is... Oh, we did it! He's here! Alright. Double Protoss. Smart, no Zergs. Never ready. Yeah, we could have had... You know, we still have Sparkle Hands and Cow Goes Moo, which sounds like the protagonists of, like, elementary school kid show. Or maybe younger than that. Up against the villains, Fish and Rayboy. Rayboy shoots lasers that make you sad. Which makes sense, because he plays Protoss. Alright, here we are. We made it. And now, for the final match. I think we can just put him on the board here. In the top left of Polka, in the green and the pink respectively, we have the Michigan State Spartans, Fish and Rayboy. At least one of them brought their logo. The captain, Rayboy. Shout out to Rayboy especially for organizing, making this happen. Organizing it, also helping U of M get organized as well. So, Rayboy, the real hero here today. We'll see if he can make it happen in game as well. Alright, but on the other side, looking to maintain some semblance of dignity after a overall defeat in the 1v1s. The University of Michigan Wolverines. We have Cow Goes Moo and Sparkle Hands, who I'm not sure if they played today. I don't think either of them played during the matches. Also, some of them might be alumni. Or maybe they just had too many players. I'm not sure exactly, but they're here now for their team in the team match. So, still a chance. I think if U of M wins this, it's still a win for MSU. It's up to the players to decide, though. But MSU has a chance to have a solid victory. Bring home the tie. Bring home the not loss. All victories are equal, but some are more equal than others. The next clan war decides this one. Okay. That's an interesting... Wow, we got a whole, like, multi-month saga, then. The drama. Yeah, a cliffhanger. All right. Well, never mind. It's just a straight-up tie. This one match. Of course, we do have 4 players involved. So, for, the Spartans, Fish is Masters and Rayboy is Platinum, whereas both Sparkle Hands and Cow are Diamond. So, it about evens out. Of course, that's not exactly how SC2 works, but we tried to make all the matches somewhat even, because good games are indeed the best games. All right. Any team efforts here? Everybody expanding. Polka, a relatively wide and a whole lot of expansions. A macro map. There's just no easy way to kill your opponents early, as it's essentially impossible to do a ground attack before 3 bases. And there's so many different directions, so many ramps to work with. So almost inevitably, it will likely devolve or evolve, depending on who you ask, into the air, eventually, assuming the game goes on long enough. Of course, there are plenty of opportunities for combined all-ins. I'm not sure if either team has those prepared. I'd be a little doubtful. But Cal comes in with the Oracle. Rayboy has Stalkers in position. He's gonna end up... Oh no! He slides on a far pass, but both players a little off center. Rayboy shoots his own Nexus instead of the Oracle. And the Oracle will get away because of it. Lucky break there. Stressful situation for both sides. Three racks for Sparkle Hands. And we have Cal going for +1 air and double star Phoenix. So the Terran's going to cover the ground. And Cal covers the skies, ideally. Fish is going for Blink with a Prism. Whereas Rayboy has Immortals and +1 weapons on the way. So a more stalwart composition. A proxy pylon, which I don't think that's for actually warping in, just for scouting. A combined timing here, a whole bunch of stalkers on the way. Sparkle Hands getting a 3rd command center, adding a double engineering bay, but very notably, not very many units. So, with this many stalkers on the field, very much could be a deadly timing, especially if Cow's Phoenixes are caught out. And there is Blink done. The Phoenixes are spotted. No blanks. The Phoenixes do get away. Stasis, a smart choice. There is an observer, but is it close enough? Oh, he leads the charge with just 1. A single tank on the high ground. Could blink through. The Phoenix is looking for an opportunity. Will snipe off the Prism. Great snipe there. Actually gets 3 of the Stalkers inside. Though may end up losing the Phoenixes to pick off the last one. Loses 1, but good snipe will deflect that attack and really demonstrating why it's so hard to actually find an angle here. As coming up the ramp, you're caught between a rock and a hard place, and there's a mineral wall on the other side, which kind of prevents any sort of attack, unless you're willing to send... Are those 5 minerals? Yeah, but it takes 3 trips there. Blink Stalkers could go over, but then you're kind of trapped in, so... Meanwhile, Widowmine dropping to Fish's base. And Fish, no response, actually moves the probes away, which is even more devastating. He lost 9 of them, and the mine drop gets out. Classic mistake too slow to move them beforehand, but too fast to not move them at all, which leaves you with even less probes at the end of the day. The conundrum of Widow Mine drops. Does he have an armory? He doesn't, so those Widow Mines are not... They haven't recharged yet, so they're not cloaked. He's gonna warp in the Stalkers, though, and at point-blank range, the mines will take him out. And takes out 2 star. Not a bad take there, indeed. Meanwhile, the Bio-Army, kind of drawn into the fight underneath, picks up some of the Stalkers. The tank on the back line. Does he have stim done? Indeed he does, but not using it. I think focused on the other side. Picking up the Stalkers for his teammate to gun down. But Sparklehead's a little late on the draw and not taking advantage of it. Will do so eventually. The Phoenix Marine combo getting a lot done here. And the Wolverines now looking very strong. Sparklehands at 100 supply. Cow goes moo at only 73, but has carriers in production. It has maintained that Phoenix count. Rayboy starting to pull things together. Fish, unfortunately, hamstrung by the Widowmines and opted for Blink early, which means he's not going to be able to challenge the skies for quite a while yet. Dropping the mules. Sparklehands, he invested in 3 CC, got double engineering bay, got all his production online, and now it's paying off. And is able to take full advantage of the 3rd base. Phoenixes just hanging out, waiting for an opportunity. There's still a probe and a pylon kind of conspicuously up to the north side. The Zealots in the center of the map intercept some of the scouting Marines. Oh, and he spots the Phoenixes just in time. And actually, there's not enough Phoenixes here from Cal. Going to be intercepted. There is an air weapons upgrade. He may be able to angle away. He's going to chase him to the ends of the earth here. The Phoenix count clearly in favor of Fish. But dragging... I think this is a select all army key back to the corner. He's just going to fight. +1 air weapons doesn't make up for that much of a Phoenix difference. And Fish will decisively knock the Phoenixes out of the sky. The carrier's caught in the center, but the Blink Stalker's intercepted by Sparklehands. And the Phoenix is in a precarious position as well. Sparklehands actually runs away. Doesn't want to get intercepted by Rayboy. A double stim. Picks up some of the Marauders, turns the strategy around, and Sparklehands is driven back. There's Cloak on the way for Ghosts, and of course Ghosts going to be able to EMP essentially everyone else in the match. So has to be a little careful not to hit his teammate, but, you know, acceptable losses at the end of the day. A scan, the tank's going to shell up to the high ground. Blink Stalkers, and light! Let there be light! Daytime has risen on this map. There is the destructible rock tower. He could actually take it down. Well, the Phoenix is going to try to intercept. Will get some of the medevacs over the high ground here. All the Stalkers going to go down as Sparklehands absolutely tearing through the ground army. Cow with carriers behind, and the Wolverines clearly building up to a late-game death ball of an army. Mass Phoenix, though, is the choice. Fish with a very bold 4th base here. Kind of a staging area. No base. Cow's still hanging out. The probe has just kind of been here. I think he forgot about it. Won't forget about it now, but this base will be spotted. What are the upgrades? 1-1 for Rayboy. Just finished 2-1. +2/+2 about to complete for Sparklehands. +2 air going on 3 for Cow. And Fish only has +1 air weapons, but he's going to find a lot of the probes for Cow goes moo. A real problem for him here. The carriers. And honestly, with enough Phoenixes, you can just deal with the interceptors. This is not enough Phoenixes, though. And down to 60 probes. He's trying to find an engagement. Might be able to jump the carriers, but with even a shield battery here. He's trying to drag out the interceptors and deal with them piecemeal. And so far, doing a pretty good job of it. There's still an observer spotting everything here from Rayboy. Not that that's necessarily helpful, as most of the armies are far out on the map now. This pylon still intact. I don't even think... Oh, Cow does indeed have Warp Gate, though he hasn't used it for very much. The Phoenixes and shield batteries. Most of Rayboy's army on the other side of the map. Sparklehands 2,200 minerals in the bank, 171 supply on the field. Getting a fusion core, I believe, for advanced ballistics, but one can dream. The carrier is going to be intercepted here. Well, the interceptor's intercepting the phoenixes. Actually, there are just so many carriers. Building carriers of his own. Is there storm for Rayboy? Huge storms! Doesn't get the EMPs off in time. Looks like he got one afterwards, though. And with the EMPs moving far too far forward, Sparkle Hand may lose the front of the fight, but absolutely brutalizes after the EMPs land. And Rayboy knocked down to 100 supply. Trying to come through a tiny choke point. It's just not going to happen. And the carriers have arrived. Fish completely out of position. Carrier zoning out for the tanks, and Rayboy will get swept off the field. Fish flopping around on the other side, unable to compete. And Rayboy has barely anything left. The Terran Protoss army, the EMPs, valid against the entire field here. Gotta be a little careful not to EMP his teammates' interceptors too much. The force field's, optimistic. The interceptors are battling. I have no idea what's going on under there. There's some EMP. Trying to target the carriers. Cal on top of it. Flinging those interceptors out. Shield batteries. Probes pulled. Okay. Carrier battles are always a bit odd. But I think the decisive advantage goes to the Wolverines here. I don't think I know. Look at the supply. They may be able to turn it around and drag this into the next battle. The next showdown between these two teams. Some months from now, but it appears they will end up tying it up. He's got Yamato Kid in production, but that's pretty much it. The last battle, the last stand here, but the victors of this 2v2 gets caught on the Nexus. Almost there. Anti-armor missile. GG. And they'll tie it up at the end of the day. Worth 2 wins, because 2 players wins. Yes, 1 game, 2 wins. That's how we count it. All tied up at the end. But strong 1v1s from Michigan State. But you have been able to work together as a team and take it in the 2v2. A solid match all around. And right on time as well. I know there's not too much time left. They're able to actually play, but I don't know if the teams have anything else. Just message me in Discord if you need to. Anything I missed or anything you want to say, by the way. But thank you to both teams for participating and, you know, existing, showing that still plenty of, maybe not new, but up-and-coming players of all levels on both sides. Don't think so. And make sure to check out, if you're going to school, and you like esports, which, well, at least one of the two should cover most people here. You can probably find one at your school as well. So, you don't have to be the most competitive player in order to have a good time. So, thank you to the teams. Thank you to the players. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe on the YouTubes. You can find this match if you were watching on Twitch, if you want to go back and watch some of the more dynamic lower level matches especially. You can check that out on the second channel on YouTube. But with that, good luck, have fun. At least for today, I'll be taking a break. I'll be back tonight for something probably less exciting than this. But otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. I'll see you soon. I'll see you guys. We'll make sure. I'm making sure that we got everything locked down. All right. Give them a minute in case there's something I missed. Well, thank you for watching. Something a little bit different. Make sure to check out the YouTubes in general. If you haven't yet subscribed to the second channel, that'd be awesome. That's where all the events and stuff like this end up, and just streams in general. I've been multi-streaming on YouTube because while Twitch has a great community, it also doesn't have the internet tubes to support like even 1440p quality. So like, nice to have a more reliable place for that. So, but yeah, looks like we're good to go. Congratulations to Michigan. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you soon. I'll see you like later tonight, probably. Unless I don't, but probably. So.